All right, so my topic I chose was cultural foods around the world. So there are many different types of cultural foods throughout the world. In this presentation, I will discuss the top three in the world, and those top three are Massaman curry, Neapolitan pizza, and Peking duck. So we're going to start off with Massaman curry. It was originated in Thailand, and it is a sweet curry with fragrant spice, which undertones such as cumin, cardamom, and cinnamon. Some ingredients in Massaman curry are peanut tofu, shrimp, skinless chicken breast, curry, coconut aminos, peanut butter, lime juice. And Massaman curry is always served with a type of grain such as rice, quinoa, and it is touched up and put on top with fresh cilantro. The evolution of Massaman curry, it evolved from the word Musselman, which is the Muslim heritage. It evolved from the word Malay to Masam, which is for the tangy tamarina juice in the curry. And Massaman curry is never made with pork, which was a myth back in the day, because during my research, they would always say that it was made with pork, but then that was a whole myth all along, that it's never made with pork and never will. All right, so the next food I'll be talking about is Neapolitan pizza. It originated in Italy. It is also known as Naples style pizza, which is a style pizza which is made with tomatoes and mozzarella cheese, which is mainly our play pizza. The ingredients of Neapolitan pizza is homemade dough, pizza sauce, fresh mozzarella cheese, kosher salt, cornmeal, semolina flour, and basil leaves. The evolution of Neapolitan pizza, it was made for the first time for King Umberto and Queen Margherita, which were visiting Italy for the first time, so they got to try out the first version of Neapolitan pizza. Esposito baked it for them for the first time in 1889. He was a famous chef in Italy, and the Neapolitan pizza was made to resemble the Italian flag colors, which is green, red, and white. Lastly, the last third cultural food in the world is Peking duck. Peking duck originated in China, specifically in Beijing. Peking duck is a dish from China that has been prepared from the imperial era. It is very old. The meat is characterized by its crisp skin and is sliced in front of the diners. Some ingredients of Peking duck is 1 whole duck, ground cinnamon, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground white pepper, cloves, soy sauce, honey, and onions. The evolution of Peking duck is, back in the day, it was very expensive. So not a lot of people back then in Beijing could afford Peking duck. It was considered a high-class meal. It's been 5 to 10 years since your average Beijing person can afford to buy it in restaurants. So they reduced the price now in the modern day, that now people are finally able to buy Peking duck. And the recipe was very bland compared to now, because they added a lot of spices, and back in the day it was just the duck that was cooked and sliced very thin with honey. And the meal back then was 3 courses, and now it's a 5-course meal at a restaurant. And the last slide I'm going to be talking about is just interesting food traditions around the world that I found interesting while doing my research about the top 3. Is in Thailand, they don't use a fork. In Japan, they must slurp all their noodles. In Utopia, they only eat with their right hand, they can't with their left. That's considered disrespectful when they're eating. In China, proper chopstick etiquette is a must, or they get looked down upon, and that's also disrespectful if they don't have proper chopstick etiquette. And when you're young in China, you were taught to have that by your parents. And In China, you don't pour your own drink. You always pour your own drink for someone else at the dinner table or if you're out. And that is it. And that is the top 3 cultural foods around the world. Thank you.